The Epstein files?
I did.
You did?
Yeah, I just came from there.
What can you tell us?
There's a bunch of sick fucks.
And I mean, anything more that we don't know? I feel like that's pretty well established.
I know. I think the part that is just so disgusting.
Stop scrolling and look at this lawmaker's face. The filters are finally coming off. You're about to see the exact moment the unredacted Epstein files broke a member of Congress. No more talking points, just the ugly, unfiltered truth they tried to keep buried for years. Wait, did you catch the wording in that email? It's not just about a schedule. It's a literal inventory of human beings. That UAE diplomat offering up her own 13-year-old sister is the kind of detail that makes your stomach turn. Look at the numbers. This woman appears in the files 469 times. This wasn't some small-scale operation. It was a logistics machine for the world's most powerful people. And yet, she's walking around free while these documents sat in a vault. It makes you wonder what justice even looks like when you're looking at records the FBI has had since 2019. The most chilling part is how casual the tone is, treating children like they're just another appointment on a calendar. When you see that photo of her, remember that the delay in releasing this wasn't an accident. It was a choice. We're finally seeing the names they tried to ink out, and the scale is way bigger than anyone admitted.
Disgusting. Yeah. Is that so many people knew.
Did he have any ties to any intelligence agencies? We've established some in our reporting, but wanted to know based on the file.
I only had about a half hour, so I'm going to go back again tomorrow. Okay. So mostly today I was just trying to go through a couple documents that was particularly interested in finding out.
What were those?
One was related to whether or not Trump, had ever kicked Epstein out of Mar-a-Lago, as he claimed.
What'd you find?
It's not true.
Notice how her tone shifts from anger to pure disgust. She mentions only having 30 minutes to review those files, but that was enough to see through the official story. She's touching on the intelligence agency ties, the one question the DOJ has spent decades dodging. Look at her reaction when she's asked about the intelligence community. That hesitation says more than any press release ever could. We've been told for years that this was just one guy and a few associates, but the lawmakers who are actually seeing the unredacted pages are coming out sounding like they've seen a horror movie. It's not just about what Epstein did, it's about who watched and who helped. When she calls them sick Fs, she isn't just talking about Epstein. She's talking about the network that's still being protected by these redactions. They're scared of what happens when the rest of us see what she saw.
He uncovered no credible information about Epstein trafficking underage girls to anyone besides himself. I want to play that moment of what he testified.
Who, if anyone, did Epstein traffic these young women to besides himself?
Himself. There is no credible information. None. If there were, I would bring the case yesterday that he trafficked to other individuals. And the information we have, again, is limited.
So the answer is no one?
I'm asking you, in that stuff, there's nothing that's related to to any other sex traffic, any other people engaged with Epstein in underage sex?
That's correct. To my knowledge, no.
Given what you saw today, does that testimony ring true to you still?
No, the FBI's own documents from 2019 list Leslie Wexner as a co-conspirator in a child sex trafficking case. So, they've got some explaining to do.
This is where the narrative completely falls apart. Watch Massie here. He's literally calling out the no other individuals claim in real time. Think about it. The DOJ spent years saying Epstein acted alone, but now we have the FBI's own 2019 documents listing billionaires as co-conspirators. The disconnect is wild. If a regular person lied like this in a federal investigation, they'd be in a cell already. But here, we have the DOJ scrambling because they got caught protecting names like Les Wexner. It's not just a conspiracy theory anymore. It's a documented contradiction. Massie is pointing out the exact moment the lie was told to Congress. If they were protecting the founder of Victoria's Secret, who else is on that list of 6 redacted names they're still fighting to hide? This is why transparency matters. Without these unredacted files, we'd still be hearing that Epstein had no help. The evidence was always there, just buried under a black marker.
But there's a reason that they're not in prison, and the reason that he was in the White House for 2 terms and she was Secretary of State, because they are very slippery and they're very smart, and I think they're an evil pair. I think she's probably the brains behind the operation, but I don't think we'll get much on them. I know a lot of people are wanting us to get them, and it'll be great clickbait, I'm sure. But I think when it comes down to it, they'll either bail or they won't answer very many questions and be very evasive and be very smug. Because in this world, there are 2 forms of justice. Those like the Clintons and for the rest.
Burchett is saying the quiet part out loud here. 2 forms of justice. One for the elite and one for everyone else. He's being brutally honest about why names like the Clintons have been slippery for decades. Look at his face. He's a sitting congressman, and even he sounds powerless against the machine. He knows that unredacting a name is one thing, but actually bringing a billionaire or a former president to a courtroom is something else entirely. It's that smugness he mentions that really hits home. They feel untouchable because, historically, they have been. But the math isn't adding up for the public anymore. When you see these guys laughing off subpoenas or giving evasive depositions, remember that they're relying on the system to keep protecting them. Burchett is calling it for what it is, a clickbait show of justice that might never lead to a set of handcuffs. It's a cynical view, but looking at these files, it's hard to argue with him.
Congresswoman, are you among the members who got to see the unredacted files today?
Yes, I saw some of them, not all of them, obviously. And I'll be going back tomorrow to see more.
Any reaction on what you've seen so far?
I think that there's folks who are definitely implicated and co-conspirators. And, I don't think everyone there that was talking about underage girls being trafficked are victims.
Got it. And do you support any clemency for Ghislaine Maxwell? She was saying that
I do not. Okay. I think Ghislaine Maxwell should get more time, and she should definitely be in a harsher prison than what she's in. It's absolutely disgusting.
Got it. Thank you, Congresswoman.
Catch that detail Boebert mentioned about victims becoming co-conspirators? That's a massive twist in the legal strategy here. It suggests that the rot went so deep that the survivors were essentially coerced into the operation itself. It's a layer of complexity that the original trials completely ignored. She's also pushing for Ghislaine Maxwell to face even harsher conditions, which points to a belief that Maxwell is still holding out on the biggest names. The frustration in her voice is about the fact that we're only seeing some of the files. There's a gatekeeping process happening right now where 217 lawmakers have to share 4 computers just to see the truth. That's not a logistical error. That's a bottleneck designed to slow down the discovery of the most damaging information. If they make it this hard for Congress to see the files, imagine what they're still hiding from you. The truth is finally leaking out. Stick around for the next update. We're not letting this go.